So we are ready to start this live feed sharing the moon on the International Observing the Moon Night. And I started a bit earlier because right now we can see our natural satellite just hanging above the Colosseum in Rome. And I believe that this site is actually well worth to start a bit in advance. And of course, we will be waiting for the regular scheduled time. But again, I repeat, I just wanted to share with you this unique, wonderful vision with the Colosseum on the bottom left, and of course the Roman Forum around, and of course the moon on the upper right. And all this live thanks to the Virtual Telescope project. And I will keep the images running live. Meantime, I will wait for the scheduled time. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gianluca Masi speaking from Rome, Italy, on the behalf of the Virtual Telescope project, and we are very happy to provide this live feed from basically the Roman Forum here in Rome, as I said, and all this happening for the International Observe the Moon Night. You know, an event which has been launched by NASA and other international institutions just to celebrate the moon, its science, and of course its important role in our human culture. And right now I'm just sharing live images coming from the mobile devices of the Virtual Telescope project, and I'm very proud that the weather here is basically good, and I started a bit in advance because of course I wanted to show the moon while hanging above the Colosseum that you can see on the bottom left. This will not be possible later because of course the moon is rising, and when it will be high in the sky, of course the Colosseum will not be longer there. But for now we can enjoy this. And first of all, I want to thank the technological partners of the Virtual Telescope project. They are Unitron Italia Instruments, Software Bisque, and SimWeb, and all the other partners like Santa Barbara Instruments Group, Planewave Instruments, Bader Planetarium, and of course all the international media which featured us. And I want to remember that this event is also hosted in partnership with ANSA. And I want to thank Sky and Telescope. I want to thank many other newspapers and websites worldwide, including Sky and Telescope, for featuring this live event and making possible for the world to look at this. And also want to thank the NASA team taking care of the International Observe the Moon Night, because they really appreciated the opportunity we offered to see the moon live, sharing also the beauty of Rome. Of course, beauty up there and beauty all around here. I mean, this is a perfect bridge in the name of a universal beauty connecting the sky and of course our home planet. And I also want to thank people at the Lunar and Planetary Laboratory, Lunar and Planetary Institute, for again for really welcoming our initiative in such a very warm way. And thank you to them, thank you to everyone. And again, I want to start this. And you know, all this is happening here from Rome Live, and you can likely hear people talking, because I'm really in such a wonderful public place, just facing the Roman Forum, and of course looking at the moon with more than 2,000 years of history just here in front of me is a truly unique experience. And of course, the moon is the only natural satellite we have around, and its importance in our culture is of course outstanding, not only because, I mean, for its scientific meaning, and of course this is where the space agencies are working a lot, in particular NASA, of course, but also in our culture. You can easily find, I know, poems, novels, music, paintings, simply inspired by the moon. And I mean, this is a truly important aspect, and you know, the virtual telescope we really love, we really appreciate just sharing this, I mean, this universal meaning. I will try to adjust the framing of the image or the camera, just to see if I can show you something special. All this is happening, as I told you, in real time, so
Que legal, vou fazer uma foto aqui. Ei, faz a foto nossa aqui, olha a foto com o Coliseu lá atrás. Ele não tá morrendo. Vai dar um pau. Vai. É cheio, você estava procurando. Então, usado. Tira.
Let me stop the imaging acquisition, just to see if I can actually share with you some likely special site.
Quer ver não? Mostrando aqui. Pô, vem cá. Alô? Oi. O cara tá tirando a luz. Tem muita posição de imaginação. Olha, os bichos aqui tá aqui. Os bichos lá fora. Tá? Aquelas bichinhas aqui.
And I'm back just to show you that on the bottom right there is a huge terrace on the Palatine Hill, and people there are enjoying the sight over the Roman Forum, and of course also looking at the moon, I think. And look here, the moon, friends. And let me see now to share again with you the live feed. Please understand that I'm really sitting in the middle of a very crowded place, so it takes some time to me to adjust things. So thank you for your kindness. And okay. Okay. And I hope that okay. Here it is, the moon just I really love this. But now I want to be back to, oh my god, it's very beautiful with many birds. I apologize for the orientation, but let me try to adjust this. Here it is, and you can hopefully enjoy this as well. Let me share again with you. Okay. Here it is. Let me see if I can actually. I love this image. The live feed cannot be rotated. You can see some birds all around. How beautiful. But now I want to take an image just framing the moon alone. Okay, I think we are ready again. To take more images. And here it is the moon. I just need to focus the moon a bit better. Okay, I think it's honestly amazing, so you can really see the moon live from here, from Rome. Let me try to adjust the exposure. And this is the moon, and you can see we are somewhere between the first quarter and the full moon, and you can very easily recognize many craters. I'm just trying to adjust all the parameters, and sometimes when I touch the camera, of course, you can see vibrations making the sight not good. But here it is, friends. How beautiful this is, you know. We really love the moon. It's elegant, and you can see many craters, and of course we know that those craters are actually, I mean, the leftover of asteroids which had impacts with our moon during its very long history. And for us, those craters and I mean those impacts are very important, because this way we can really learn a lot about our Earth too and the actual impact. Let's try this new image, and let me wait for the next image. Just fitting. Okay, so you can see there are people on the bottom right actually looking up, looking at the moon, and they are located on the Palatine Hill, which is an important place here in Rome. So I really love the idea that we can actually share the moon together with the wonders of our planet, and I feel lucky to be here. Okay, I think we are right, so I'm just starting again the imaging session, just to be sure we will have good images of our natural satellite environment. I think we can be happy with this. I will leave this running automatically, but meantime I also want to show you some details of the moon I had from a friend of mine working with me on the Virtual Telescope project. Let me try to share with you some of this close-up, because there are special places on the moon like the Plato crater in this beautiful image made by my friend and collaborator of the Virtual Telescope project, Andrea Curzi, where you can see the Plato crater. I really love this because, of course, you can see how beautiful this part of the moon is. Huge crater in the shadow of the crater walls just when we look at the moon. You can look our natural satellite for decades, but every time you fall in love because it's always beautiful. I cannot tell you how many times I've looked at the moon through a telescope, just by naked eye or just through my imaging devices, but every time I take my time to look at the moon and enjoy its beauty. I think that before talking about its science, which is something extremely important, of course, we can really enjoy the beauty of this object, the moon, as a natural object, as a natural gem. And this is why I truly welcome the international, observe the moon night. But again, let me switch again on the live image sequence we are collecting together here in Rome. And here we are, friends. Again, the moon live from Rome. I'm never tired to look at it, and I must say that I also love the idea to share this with the world. This is basically the idea behind the Virtual Telescope project, and being lucky enough to live in Rome, of course, this is, even more beautiful for me. Just checking the focus, friends. Okay. Let me try to adjust the focus a bit. Okay, I think that we have much better focus now. Let's check and let's see. Here it is, I think so. And there is also a bird just flying to the moon just to celebrate the Apollo 8 50 years ago. And I really love this site when the sky is still bright. And you know, I really love looking at the moon just before the deep night, and I hope that you can really enjoy this as well. How beautiful it is, and all this is just running live from Rome thanks to the Virtual Telescope project for the International Observe the Moon Night, friends.
Nice. Yeah.
Look at the planes. The planes. It is just very likely. Let me try to. Okay, we can have something special happening just for chance. Who knows? So friends, there is an airplane just crossing the sky over there, and perhaps it is going to apparently reach the moon. It is going to do this. Incredible.
Catch it.
Porque eu tenho as canetas no prêmio Mariano, eu consigo fazer um dia, outro dia, entendeu?
Perhaps.
No? Why?
Here is this. Oh no, this is just refreshing.
Okay.
But of course, it is perhaps. Here it is. So, someone is just leaving for the moon right now. Who knows? And, well, here it is. So friends, you see what happens when you just look up. You never know what is going to happen, you know. And again, let me switch to the full screen. Oh my God. Let's wait. Okay. Okay. No, no problem, because I have to confirm.
Quelli qualcuno i Gigi o quelli là che vanno al fuoco.
So we start again in taking images. We had such a beautiful bonus with the airplane crossing the field of view of the moon, of course. I want to check the focus again. So you can see that sometimes running these kind of things, I mean, while you are outside is not straightforward, but I think that basically what we see is well worth the effort, you know. And again, all this is happening live from Rome, as I told several times, but just make sure that everyone joining this live feed can really understand what is happening. We are in Rome. After sunset, we are taking images of the moon, and we are sharing this live to celebrate the International Observe the Moon Night, which is an international event hosted every year, more or less around this time of the year, and organized by several institutions, including the NASA and the Lunar and Planetary Institute. And we are very happy to thank the NASA people actually organizing this for welcoming our live feed, and we are very proud of this. And I hope that you can really enjoy our cosmic neighbor. The moon is relatively close. It is a bit closer than 400,000 kilometers. I understand that this is not such a short distance if you compare this to your ordinary days, but of course if you think about the sky, this is just something very short, because stars are much more distant, you know, and the sun as well. The sun, our star, is 150 million kilometers far away, and if you travel at the speed of light, you can reach the moon in a bit more than 1 second. So it's quite easy if you can run that fast, of course. And here we are, friends. You see that every time we have a new image, it takes some seconds to our device to properly download them before we have the full definition image. I think we can be very happy. Many details. You can see also the darker regions. They are the so-called Maria, but they are not real seas. There are no huge water seas on the moon, but I love this one, by the way. Luca Masi Virtual Telescope Project is very happy to share this with you, and we are also very proud to this live feed to celebrate the International Observe the Moon Night. We are having a great time here. I must say that the weather here in Rome is simply wonderful. We are in October, but it seems like we are, still in the summer, because the temperature is unusually warm. And how beautiful, friends. Ask our imaging camera to take images less frequently, just that we can really enjoy how beautiful the moon is, and we have time to have the full resolution image downloaded before the new one is actually taken. Wow! And I think that this is a nice experience, I think. As you can easily listen, there are people, of every age, and it's so beautiful. All this is running live from Italy.
Grazie a questa guerra nessuno ci ha chiesto, stanno chiedendo questa era la sua città natale e il vostro questo era una via perché adesso stanno
Let's wait for the image, and here it is, friends. And the moon is, of course, the queen night. And all this live from Rome to properly celebrate the International Observe the Moon Night, friends. Let me put now different imaging parameters. And I changed the imaging parameters, and you can see now much better, perhaps, moon. And I hope that you are enjoying the sight from us, from Rome, Italy. And I think this is truly amazing, friends. And as I told you, the moon is present everywhere, while of course we remember it's truly important, it's huge scientific importance. I want to underline that the moon is extremely important also in art, in our culture in general, and all this is something we have to remember, to keep in mind, because it is making very evident the strong connection that there is between our culture, the human being basically, and what is up in the sky, the moon tonight, but many other amazing great things up there. While these astronomical objects are of course far, not the moon, it is our neighbor, but despite the distance, the physical distance, the sky is very present in our daily life. And of course this International Observe the Moon Night is such a very precious opportunity for us to keep this well in mind, and it's a pleasure for us to share this live from here in Rome. We are just facing the Roman Forum. Earlier during the live feed we could really enjoy the Colosseum at sunset with the moon just hanging above it, and of course we are now continuing with our live coverage while the moon is climbing the sky more and more, and of course it is now too high to see the Colosseum together, but we did this earlier, and if you want you can just restart the live feed when this will be and it will be over. You can run again the podcast we will make available soon after that. But again, look at the moon, at its craters, at its the darker areas, we call them the seas, and of course this is the only place where man went about 50 years ago. We will celebrate the first 50 years after the first man on the moon next year, July next year. So this is also a truly important International Observe the Moon Night, because we start focusing on this. And of course I want to remember the first Apollo reaching the moon. It was Apollo 8, and this happened basically 50 years ago, and we are very happy to remember all these very important things that made the human history half a century ago. And of course the beauty of the moon is timeless, you know. And the many craters you see, of course, are just, were left there by asteroids. And because the moon has been reached by many asteroids, as well the Earth, by the way, and of course those asteroids left their their signature. And now you can see the moon is much darker because we have some clouds just crossing the sky. Let me see if I can just change the imaging parameters a bit to make the sight good again. Here we are, friends. I think that the weather is now changing a bit, so it is not dangerous. It is not going to rain, but there are very heavy clouds, and you can see how the vision is now clearly affected by that. So let's see the next images to judge what is happening. But I see even by naked eye that we have a lot of aids now there. But anyway, let me see. Okay, here it is again, but of course the image is of much less quality than earlier. Anyway, this is again just telling us that all this is happening live, my friends. And I cannot tell you how beautiful all the environment is all around now that the lights on the Roman Forum just switched on, and later I will show you the Colosseum again. And maybe this is a good moment for us to do this, because you can see this very strange moon. And you know, despite the technology, when we have clouds, we cannot observe with our optical devices, you know. This is where Mother Nature is still telling us how small we are. And despite this, we were able 50 years ago to go to the moon, and we are still dreaming to go to reach even much farther places. Mars, for example, why not? But for now, we are celebrating the International Observe the Moon Night, friends. You can see the glare, you can see the effects of course, of the clouds all around. So friends, I see that the weather is not good now. In a few minutes it turned out to be quite bad, and so I plan to stop this almost 1 hour long now like coverage. Happy that we started a bit earlier so that we could provide you with some images showing also the wonderful location. And by the way, I want to show you the location again, like you can see the Colosseum, of course. And I hope that this can ideally end our live feed. It's been such a pleasure to share this live with you, and I still want to thank all the people which made possible this. Also people working with me at the Virtual Telescope Project, like Giorgio Gioia, Andrea Curzi, Pierluigi Catalano and Alessio Sabatino. And I also want to thank our technological partners, Uniton Italia Instruments, SoftwareBisque and C-Web, and also all the media actually which made possible for us to reach many people worldwide. I also want to thank the people at NASA working for the International Observe the Moon Night, as well as the people at Lunar and Planetary Institute doing the very same. They are doing such a great job, and for us it was a pleasure to organize this online opportunity for everyone to join, no matter where they are on the planet. And again, we are looking forward to share again the beauty of the sky with you soon. Meantime, take care, keep looking up, and enjoy the International Observe the Moon Night. Bye bye from Gianluca Masi, Virtual Telescope Project, Rome, Italy.